So hi guys, welcome to the Football Trading Genie coaching call. The Football Trading Genie members, those who did participate in the survey, I want to thank you for taking part in the survey. We've obviously got a lot to work with, and I'm going to answer a lot of the questions and go through a lot of the stuff which came up in the survey. We're also going to be inside the Genie. Not sure if you saw, but at the moment we're running an experiment with having friendly matches in the Genie, which is not something I would encourage, but obviously this is a good week to try it. And so yeah, we currently have these friendly matches in there. Whether you want to trade them or not, this is totally up to you, but we want to get an idea of how well the Genie can work on friendly matches. I'm not 100% convinced, but anyway, we'll let this one load and then we might refer back to it. So yeah, we did a very good survey. It was anonymous, which was great because I think that gave everyone a good chance of really being totally honest in what they want to say about it. But the good news for us is that we actually had an 81% satisfaction rate. So we've taken all the survey responses and we've run those survey responses through AI, and that's pretty much what the AI came back with. It was an 81% positive, satisfied with usability, 19% want more clarity or simplification. Very, very strong for a new product, okay? So anything above 80% when you have a new product of satisfaction shows we're definitely going in the right direction with this. And me being me and my high standards, I always think, how can we get this to 100%, okay? Obviously never possible because as we know, it's hard to please all of the people all of the time, but it's good to know that, yeah, a lot of people are very happy with it so far. And obviously from the 19%, we've got some good ideas about how to improve things. So here was just some of the things we got from the AI, just generally. The members are using the Genie regularly from the feedback, from the analysis of the survey. The feedback we got was intelligent and high quality, which is great. Okay, so if you did give us some feedback, you got a bit of a compliment from the AI. Intelligent and high quality, very impressive. What was interesting, members want more, not less, which is interesting. So there is more we could be looking to add to the Genie, but overall the Genie already feels like a serious analytical tool. Most issues were about interpretation, not accuracy, which is what I'm going to be really going over in this call. So let's just go back to the Genie and just have a look and let's just see how it broke down this particular match. Okay, so it reckons a later draw and it's going in favor of Bulgaria. So I want to bring up the correct score trading strategy and let's just see what happens here. So just to be clear, because there was some questions also about what sort of data analysis. So it's looking at the last 10 matches for both teams, and you can see here, look, the main strategy has gone in favor of Bulgaria. Now the correct score market has gone in favor of Bulgaria also. But this wasn't the main question we were getting. So the main question we were getting, just to start with, was this one. So what do I do when different Genie sections seem to contradict each other? Okay, so the correct score market versus the best strategy. And well, in this example, it didn't quite, but obviously it does come up and it's understandable why it might seem a little bit confusing. So you might see the main strategy would go in favor of Bulgaria, for example, but then you go to the correct score market and then suddenly the Genie is telling us to favor correct scores in favor of Moldova, and it might not add up. And you might think, well, it's broken or it's a mistake. It's actually not, okay? So the first important thing to understand, just from a football trading perspective, is that when you're trading typical match odds and goal markets, this is what the best football trading strategy prompt is looking at. And then correct score market is looking at the correct score market. And these are two hugely different ways of trading football, okay? So when you are trading correct scores, it's more about looking at the scoring paths, who's likely to score first, likely scores to land on late in the match. And that's obviously why we have a full mastery course just on correct score trading. And also on the correct scores side of things, and I wonder if it says it here, but it's got less, basically the guardrails on the correct score side of things aren't as strong as they are on the match odds side of things, or the best strategy prompts. So what this means is that we're allowing the AI to think for itself a little bit more. And so I know there was an issue, and if you just look at this line here, it says that's why I'm favoring Bulgaria as my chosen side. And so there might be times when suddenly it's been favoring the underdog, okay? And there was a bit of an issue, which hopefully has been corrected now, where it would choose to favor the underdog, and then it would just start talking about the underdog like it's the favorite after that, okay? That was just a language issue that seems to be fixed and shouldn't be an issue anymore. But just be clear, on the correct score side of things, the AI is allowed to think for itself a little bit more than on the best strategy side of things. It has a little bit more freedom, which is why it can go with the underdog from time to time, and which is why from time to time it could clash with the main strategy, okay? So anyway, keep that in mind. And also, it's important to kind of understand just how AI works. So when we press this prompt here for best football trading strategy, it's going to run the prompt and it's going to run all the data for this particular prompt. Now, when we run this prompt here for correct score trading strategy, it's going to run a different prompt. It's almost like it's looking at two different brains. So most of the time, yep, they're going to probably align with each other. But from time to time, there might be a slight nuance in the correct score side of things. And that brain on the correct score side of things wants to go in a different direction. So the best way of looking at it to try and simplify all this is that it's not a mistake. If the correct score prompt goes against the best football trading strategy prompt, it's not a mistake. It is the AI just slightly looking at it from a different angle, a different perspective. Most of the time they're going to align. Most of the time it's absolutely fine, but every now and then, yep, there might be a discrepancy there. And how you handle it just depends on just how you feel, okay? So you could look at it and think, well, hold on, it's telling me to back Bulgaria, now it's telling me to back Moldova. I might just skip this match. Or you might think, do you know what, I trade the correct score market, I'll just stick with this correct score formula, okay? And we always strongly encourage you, no matter what tool you're using, if you're ever in doubt, then stay out, okay? If you're ever in doubt, stay out. So hopefully that covers that. So it might seem like it's a contradiction, but it is just the AI looking at two different ways to approach the market in two separately different ways. So anyway, let's hope that resolves that, and you should see it less anyway, because I know there definitely was some confusion at one point, but of course these things will improve as time goes on. So the next question we can look at here: how should I actually build a trading decision using the Genie? And well, one of the big ways, and we've kind of shown this in some of the videos, that's why we're putting out so many YouTube videos at the moment, just to show you. But the main sort of formula to use is that you're going to use the AI as a guide into the match, and then you're going to use stuff like XG to confirm whether you want to stay with the trade, okay? So if we just look at this match here, Moldova against Bulgaria, it's suggesting we want to go for, it's laying the draw and then backing Bulgaria at the same time. It's giving you a good plan: back the favorite, lay the draw, etc. Get in at the first minute. If Bulgaria takes the lead, try and see if they can get the 2 goals. And then you've got an exit strategy. If Moldova take the lead, we'll just exit immediately, okay? So this is a good plan, and then obviously exit at 70 minutes regardless. So look, this is a good initial plan, but as we know, when you step into the market and you step into the live match, then things can start to develop differently. And this is where you need to step in with your skills as a football trader, your skills of analysis. And this is all stuff we taught you in many of our free videos, many of our courses. You would look at the XG and, you know, just for a match like this, for example, if you were to enter and then, you know, if you got to half time, it's 0-0, and let's say Moldova were edging it on the XG, that could be the type of match you just exit out early and you don't try and hang in till the 70 minutes and compound your loss. or anything like that. And you have to be dynamic. So the best way of looking at it is that the AI is giving you the plan. When you're in the market, then you need to adapt. If you don't agree with the plan, then obviously don't enter with it and then just look for another match. There are tons of matches inside this each and every day. So the next question, and something which I think is a fair question. So it was saying, why was this match selected for this specific strategy? And obviously it's going to give you some of a write-up, and I do think this could be improved. I do think that sometimes it does seem a little bit vague with why it's swinging towards a strategy. Sometimes it's kind of said one thing in the opening paragraph and then it seems to go in a different direction, and it's not 100% clear. So I do think that's a fair criticism, and we will be working to get that improved. I think, some sort of, maybe just some sort of sentence which really says, hey, this is the reason I'm getting in. Maybe it just kind of boils it down with regards to why it's using that particular strategy. And if we just look at just this example, price value, the market is offering a draw at a level that overvalues the risk, creating clear value where we lean on our own probability. I do think the wording on this could be a little bit better, but this is clearly just an AI thing. And yeah, it could be a little bit more clearer. So I think that's definitely a fair criticism, and something we'll definitely be forwarding on to the developers with this. So that covers that. The next question is the Genie meant to replace my own judgment or work alongside it? So that's kind of been covered just now already. It's not meant to replace your own judgment. It's meant to give you that leading plan into the market and pretty much just save you time. Okay. So if we go back to it, and if we look at all your strategies for today, probably going to be quite limited. But let's say you're a later draw trader. Let's see what comes up on this one. If anything, it's a quiet day. All right. Well, look, yeah, four trades on a later draw. So look, yeah, if you're a later draw trader, it's going to pick out what it feels to be the very best matches of the day, and then it's going to give you a little quick trading plan after scanning all these matches. And yeah, it's a great time saver. It saves you skipping around trying to analyze and do all your research and look from match to match and all that sort of thing. God, that can't be right. San Marino against Bangladesh. Anyway, it is crazy times at the moment. But anyway, back to this. So just to go back to the question, is the Genie meant to replace my own judgment or work alongside it? It's meant to be working alongside it. Okay, so you're not going to be just looking at this and thinking, all right, that's it, I'm going to blindly fly into the market, I'm just going to lay the draw, I'm just going to do whatever the Genie says. No, you're going to use it as an initial plan into the market, and then you're going to still use your in-play football trading analysis, looking at the stats, and just basically confirming that the original plan is going to plan. If it's not going to plan, then you can get out. If it is going to plan, then, well, stay in and try and execute the plan. Okay. So how should beginners use the Genie differently from advanced traders? This was something which kind of came up in our AI analysis, and whoops, lost it there. So yeah, I would still say the same thing. I would still say, look, use the Genie for your initial plan into the market. But the most important part of trading is being able to adapt. Okay, don't fall in love with your trading plan. Do not fall in love with your trading plan. Don't step into the market thinking, okay, we're going to be expecting goals in this one, and yeah, everything is leaning towards goals. The Genie says there's going to be goals, and then yeah, you get to half time and the XG is close to 0 and there's been no shots on target. Well, that's the time to pivot, and that's the time to exit and just try and cut your losses, isn't it? Right? So how should beginners use this? Now, from what I am seeing and hearing, is that the advanced traders, they kind of step into the Genie and they know exactly what they're looking for. So if they are a later draw trader, they go for it. Okay, if they enjoy the gambit trades, they click gambit trades, and then they get their short list of gambit trades for the day, clicking that button, and then yeah, they move on. Okay, and oh, there you go. So nothing today on the gambit trades, but anyway, this is obviously a quiet time, but I do think that's the main difference, okay? And I think when people get the Genie, from what I see, is that it often takes a month or so of maybe trying the different strategies and kind of seeing what you like and what suits you as a trader. And then once you get past that month 1 or month 2, then we are seeing people just knowing exactly what they want to trade. They go straight for it, and it just saves the time, and they can move ahead with their trades for the day within just a few minutes, okay? Saves the hour or 2, which we typically used to be, of trying to pick out the best trades, especially when there's loads of matches on a Saturday. So yeah, that covers that. And the next one, how should I interpret correct score predictions properly? I think we've covered that when we went over the earlier contradiction. So we'll move on from that one. How do I know which strategy or market to focus on each day? And I would just go back to what I just said, as in you need to find what you like. And that's the, I don't know, that's almost the dirty secret of football trading, is that you need to find what you like. You know, there might be someone else trading with a strategy, they're doing well with it. You try and trade with that strategy and you don't do as well, but probably because it doesn't quite fit your trading style, and you're not gonna make the best decisions based on that particular strategy. So anyway, as you know, look, there's loads of strategies in there, and there's premium strategies, so there are strategies from the courses, and there's going to be your favorite strategy in there for sure. So it is just a matter of obviously playing around, find what you're comfortable with, and then yeah, picking out that strategy. And honestly, from some of the feedback I've seen, it definitely confirms exactly what I've suspected down the years, in that there is no one size fits all with regards to a football trading strategy. We have people, and if we just look at the premium strategies, there are some traders who say they absolutely love the fireball. There are some who say they don't want to do the fireball, they prefer the snowball. There's some who say, nope, snowball, I hate that strategy, I hate being in the market trying to avoid goals. And then they like the fireball, or they like the later draw, or something like that. So everyone is different with this, and it's about finding that strategy which is comfortable for you. And just to go back to the question, is it this one? So how do I know which strategy or market to focus on each day? It's the strategy or market that you enjoy the most. And from what you might have gathered, I found my little corner with the football trading Genie, and it's the correct scores. Okay, so I can come in, I can go to a match, I can go to Slovakia against Montenegro in the internationals, and then I can very quickly look at the correct score formula for this one. Let's see what this brings up. Okay, so we can see it again. It's favouring Slovakia, and it's going in favour of Slovakia there. Okay, and we've got our target score formula. And for me, this has been a great thing with the football trading Genie. This has been my way of using it, really, because trying to pick out target score formulas for every single match, extremely time consuming, but look how fast that is. And I've got my target score formula. Do I need to 100% follow this every time? No, I can always tweak it. I can always add scores. I can take away scores. But already I've got some good scores, and typically I might not have covered the 1-0, but obviously the Genie's seen something and is suggesting we should be looking at covering that 1-0 in this particular match. But anyway, how do I know which strategy or market to focus on each day? It's your strategy or market to focus on each day. And that kind of leads me into a feature suggestion from some people to say, well, why don't you put in which strategies are doing best, and on a day-to-day basis or week by week, etc. My problem with that is that it's going to start to encourage people to jump around from strategy to strategy, which is another thing we're trying to get out of people these days. We want you to find your corner, your strategy, your way of trading, and we want you to stick with it. So that's the idea anyway. What's the best workflow for using the Genie day to day? Well, I mean, I can tell you mine. So hold on, if we go back to it. So obviously, look, you come into the Genie, and let's see if we can just reset it here, and then we'll close this out. So when you do log in, and perhaps we'll do another video on this a little bit more. So look, when you log in, you've immediately got a few things which you could look at straight away with your insurance trades, your countdown trades and whatever. But for me, I typically like to trade where, look, I know it's say 6 o'clock on a Tuesday, you're going to have a bunch of matches. I click on this, starting soon, and I can immediately see what's coming up. I can immediately see, look, I've got this match, Hong Kong against Mongolia. Do I want to trade that? Do I want to get involved? Okay, Thailand versus Kuwait, all right? So anyway, I can instantly see, look, I've got these matches coming up, starting soon. That's great. And if I want to get involved, Hong Kong against Mongolia, about to kick off in 20 minutes, and very short price on Hong Kong on this one. Anyway, do you know what? I'll be very intrigued to see what strategy is gonna come up for this one. All right. If anything. All right. So it's already weird. So again, you know, the Genie is, look, it's a win probability here, 1.15. The Genie's deemed this to be a 55% thing on Hong Kong. So again, you know, it's not hold on, let's see how this plays out. So it's going for an over 3.5 goals insurance trade. Okay, so this kind of sums up friendly matches, doesn't it? Okay, so from the data the Genie's looking at, the Genie thinks Hong Kong should be above evens, right? But the market has Hong Kong at 1.15. So again, this is why you might want to avoid trading on friendly matches, but it is interesting. And just to be clear, that's the Genie working out its own win probability based on the data it's been provided. So anyway, friendly matches, what data it's working with, not quite sure. But anyway, yeah, another reason to maybe stay away from the friendly matches. And just an example, I won't be touching this particular trade with a barge pole. Okay, it might well win, but yeah, I'm not getting involved in this one. But anyway, let's get back to it. So yeah, basically, I mean, that's kind of my best workflow, is that for me at least, I would look at what's starting soon. But of course, you could just come in the morning and you could just say, okay, I'm here for some fireable trades. Let's see if it's going to even bring us some fireable trades at all on what is a quiet day. Let's see if it can even come up with anything. Yeah, empty, as I kind of thought. So anyway, but that would be your workflow in the morning. If you're a fireball type of trader, click the button, you get your trades loaded up, and you're going to have all the kickoff times, and you can decide from there. So anyway, next question. Again, this is all taken from the AI analysis, so it's kind of been covered already. How should I manage trades once I'm in them? As said, with the XG, with the in-play stats, follow it. And just another point, you shouldn't really be trading matches these days if there is no XG data available. Okay, it's going to be quite rare, and the Genie itself is only really going to be analyzing matches which have the XG. So yeah, basically once you're in, following that XG data, following the stats, and basically making sure that the plan is going to plan. If it's not going to plan in play, then that's time to exit. It's time to cut your losses and look for a better trade, really. The most ideal trades are those trades where you've got your plan before the match develops exactly according to that plan. When the match starts to go against the plan, that's when you're struggling, and that's when maybe, look, get out your trade early, cut those losses early, race the winners. And kind of leads on to this question also, isn't it? When should I cash out early versus let the trade run? I think I've just covered that. What do I do when the Genie gives a weird wording issue or a formatting mistake? Okay, so yeah, it does come up. I mean, obviously we clicked on a few things here today. We haven't spotted them. It is quite rare. And from what we can see at the back end, these errors are 1%. Okay, it's 1% error rate, which is very good for AI. AI is making mistakes all over the place. Trust me, if you're using ChatGPT every day, if you're using Gemini or Claude, it's making mistakes. Okay, it might look good, it might seem very confident, but it's making mistakes all over the place. And we've managed to get this down to what seems to be a 1% mistake rate. Okay, now obviously with me, I'd write this to be a 0%, but there can be formatting issues with the wording, and we did have some weird wording on that match we were just looking at, wasn't it? So, oh no, it was Moldova. Let's have a look at this one. Just some slightly weird wording or something like that. But it's definitely thrown up, and I've seen it where it might say I'm favouring Bulgaria, then it starts talking about Moldova. And if that's the case, it's probably not worth trying to translate it and trying to work out what it's talking about, and just stick to that same phrase of, if you're in doubt, stay out. If you're in doubt, stay out. You don't have to trade every match. This is just basically giving you a trading plan, and then from there you decide if you want to get involved. Okay, so that's the best way to approach that. And if there's anything weird going on, if you're in doubt, stay out. How should I use the Genie alongside the live match watching and in-play data? So as you can see, a lot of these questions that have been thrown up are similar questions, just worded slightly differently. And again, I'll go back to the same thing of the Genie gives you the plan. You're going to use that in-play data, live match watching, which you're going to be doing in the World Cup. I'm sure you're going to be watching the match also. But again, strongly watch the match, but don't not look at the stats because you think, oh, I'm watching a match, I don't even need to look at the stats. You watch the stats mainly, okay? The stats are more important than the match now, okay? The XG is so much better at analysing matches than watching the match. Watching the match is good now for the flow of it and to kind of decode the motivation of the players. Are they really trying to get more goals or anything like that? But the XG for evaluating the quality of the chances is absolutely second to none. So watch the match, but watch the stats also, okay? How much should I rely on the AI versus my own experience? And of course, there's going to be people at different levels with their trading. There are beginners, there are total beginners that are jumping in this, and those seem to be the most likely to look at the trading plan and stick to it, which is absolutely fine. Those who are a bit more intermediate, advanced, and the full-timers among us, they are the ones who are sticking to our plan of, yes, there's the initial entry plan, but I will be looking at the XG, I will be looking at the match stats to help my decisions in play. And so the next question, how do I avoid overthinking or getting overwhelmed by too much information? I would say this question's probably a general football trading question, isn't it? How do you avoid the overthinking, getting overwhelmed by too much information? Now here's the thing. When you're a beginner, I strongly suggest trying to trade one match at a time and then slowly adding more matches to it. Now, obviously, I've been doing this myself for years. I could probably trade 10 matches at once. Now, a beginner's probably not going to be able to do that. So if you do find yourself getting a bit overwhelmed by the information, by what's going on, just stick to one match at a time. As said, I think that this is a very underrated feature of just having the starting soon. So starting soon, you can see this match is about to begin. Let me try and trade this match, okay? Hong Kong against Mongolia. Let me just follow the strategy. And at the same time, I will pay attention to the XG and I'll make my own decisions during the match, whether it's getting out early or something like that. So trade one match at a time and just stick to it and then slowly scale up, okay? So is that it? Well, we've got one more question. Oh, okay. All right. One more question after this. So what are the biggest mistakes members make when using the Genie? And it's a bit of a tough one to answer because obviously I'm not looking over the shoulders of everyone. But I would say probably what a lot of people are doing, which maybe they shouldn't be doing, is jumping around kind of from strategy to strategy or trading with strategies they're not comfortable with. Okay, let's go back to, let's even just go back to the Moldova-Bulgaria strategy, which was thrown up, okay? You know, looking at the strategy myself, I would be pretty comfortable doing it, but there might be some who aren't, and they might go in and follow this strategy regardless, okay? And then you find yourself in a world of pain. You're trading with a strategy that you're uncomfortable with, and then if it starts to go wrong, that comfort, or the uncomfort level is just going to increase, isn't it? So you're better off, obviously, maybe sticking to this and knowing what you're comfortable with, clicking on that and just sticking with those strategies. I often see what I call kind of big match syndrome. Also, I see that come up with football traders, and the World Cup is going to absolutely cause this to happen quite a lot with big match syndrome. So what we mean by that, big matches coming up. You've got England against Ghana or England versus Croatia about to kick off. It's the big match of the day. As a football trader, you feel like, well, I should be trading this. I should be trading this match. I should be involved. And it's the only match on at that particular time. So you put it through the Genie. The Genie suggests a strategy that you're not quite sure you really agree with, but hey, it's a big match. I should be getting involved. You get involved in it, it all starts to go wrong. You're only trading one match at a time. And if that match ends up in a loser, it starts to affect your mindset. There's no other matches to kind of balance it out with. And it just affects your mindset. You might start to get angry. You might want to take a break from it. You might blow your bank on the next one, on the next match, as we know some people do. So again, with that, I would say that don't just force a trade because, hey, this big match is coming up. This next great World Cup match is coming up at 8 o'clock tonight. I'm going to follow this strategy blindly just to have some action. I think one thing that's worth saying, and a lot of advanced traders, they work this out, is that you have to probably say no or just say I'm out, okay? And one of the things we spoke about in some of the videos is that when you're trading with the AI, it's best to approach this like you are an investor on, say, the Dragon's Den. So you're an investor on Dragon's Den, and let's just bring up another match. Let's dig into this one, Thailand versus Kuwait, and let's just see what comes up. So best way of looking at it, you're an investor on the Dragon's Den, okay? Now, you want to look for a potential investment idea on this match, Thailand versus Kuwait. And the football trading Genie has run all this analysis for you, so you don't have to do it. And it's stepping up, and it's going to give you a idea here for trading this match. So it's going to give you the analysis, it's going to give you some stats as to why we should get involved. And the investment idea for this one is to get involved on the first half over 1.5 goals market, okay? Now, you as the investor on the Dragon's Den, do they say yes to every investment? No, they don't, okay? So you would look at this similarly. You would think, well, okay, good idea. Do I want to get involved with this one? Maybe yes, maybe no. If I don't like the first half goals market, I'm out. Let's look at another one. And then you just move on. And that's probably the best way of looking at it when you are trading with AI. The AI is your assistant. It's done all the analysis for you. It's presenting a potential plan for you to trade with. You need to decide whether you're in or out. I could look at this, Thailand versus Kuwait, friendly match, nothing on the line. Do I want to look for 2 goals in the first half to win my trade? I'm out. Let's look at Indonesia versus Oman, and we repeat the same thing, and we look for the best strategy for this one, and so on and so on. And then that's probably the best way of doing it. So what I would say is, yeah, the biggest mistake is not finding that power to say no, okay? And I know a lot of people will argue and say, well, it's a football trading Genie. It should be winning every single trade. But of course, we know that's not realistic. And the positive thing, what I've seen with this survey is that I think we've got a very good bunch of members inside the football trading Genie who do understand that. They fully understand that, yes, we're not here trying to predict the future. It is probabilities. It is about giving you a trading plan, and then you as the trader goes into the market and you can make your decisions based on that trading plan, okay? And then similarly, look at this one. Golden goals for this one, over 1.5 goals. It's a friendly match, Indonesia against Oman. This might be a trade I like the look of, and I might say I'm in, and then you decide how you want to approach it, okay? So anyway, I think that, well, it wraps up the questions, so that's great. We actually got through this a little bit quicker than I was expecting. But anyway, as said, it's good to see that there's a lot of positivity with those that are using the football trading Genie. I do know from the survey, a lot of people were asking about live trading and in-play trading options, which is going to be step 2. We firstly want to get this nailed down with what we're doing, which I do believe we're getting very close to now. You might have seen, as said, the recent edition of premium strategies. So if you've got strategies from our courses that you like to follow, it will look for the criteria and it will just find all those matches for the day. And what's been great, especially something like the 60-40 system, that was an extremely complex strategy to find qualifiers for. But now we can run the Genie if there are any matches today. Nope, no matches, which is no surprise. So anyway, yeah, and I don't think it's going to look for qualifiers on friendly matches. So that's just something to be aware of. And the friendly matches, these are only temporary anyway. But this has been a great addition. So if you've got these strategies that you follow, you've obviously got the Genie specific strategies, which are all here also, and you can use those. And then you can look at individual matches also and analyze those. And as said, for me, I like the correct scores, okay? We're trying to get the correct scores added to this menu here, which has been harder than suspected. But that's in the pipeline also. But anyway, thanks to everyone who did do the survey. One other thing I would say, if there are any strategies in the premium menu, and a few people have been contacting about that, and you don't have the strategy and you're interested in getting it, then send us an email and just say which one you're looking for, and we'll get that sorted out for you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, that's pretty much it. But it's good to see a lot of positivity, and we'll be speaking with you more in the future as we try to improve a lot of this. And as said, I think some of the language issues we can definitely work on and improve this and just make it better and better and better as time goes on. Okay, anyway, thank you for your time and enjoy the World Cup.